So here it is, it's the all-new BYD Sealion 5. BYD's latest launch on the UK market with another plug-in hybrid SUV. Now this one we have been very excited to get because we think that it's going to be BYD's best-selling model in 2026. And the reason for that is because of the price point and what the car has to offer. A lot of people have been waiting for this vehicle because it is going to compete against the Hyundai Tucson and the Kia Sportage, which is currently the best-selling car on the UK market. And of course, BYD have come on leaps and bounds on the UK market and are becoming a very popular brand. People are starting to trust them. Maybe their friends have a particular model and they enjoy it a lot, and that information is getting relayed back, and then more people are buying them. So they are becoming more and more popular on the UK roads. Now, with BYD launching the first plug-in hybrid last October 2024, the BYD Seal UDMI, that has become a very, very popular vehicle indeed, because the UK market prefers a plug-in hybrid rather than a full electric vehicle at this point in time. So this car does follow suit of the Seal UDMI in terms of having the DMI technology. And what that means, DMI stands for dual motor intelligence. So the car comes with a 1.5 litre engine and a battery, and depending upon the specification, depends on which battery you get, and I'll go over that in just a moment. But primarily the engine is acting as a generator to then power the battery, and the battery then powers the motors, which is powering the wheels, and it gives you fantastic fuel economy. So with both of the models, you're going to get a 1.5 litre petrol engine. There is no turbo model in this particular car, and it is two-wheel drive. There isn't an all-wheel drive variant. But with the two specific models that are on sale, you can either get the Comfort or the Design. The Comfort is starting at £29,995. Now that one is going to give you a 13 kilowatt hour battery, which will give you roughly 38 miles of range on the electric battery itself if you're to plug it in. If you go with the Design specification, that's then going to upgrade you to an 18 kilowatt hour battery, which is going to give you roughly 53 miles of range, which is absolutely fantastic. And the whole idea behind the plug-in hybrid element is, if you're thinking about getting one of these cars, what you can do is plug it in overnight, and then on your day-to-day drives you can drive it in pure electric modes, because most people won't be doing more than 53 miles on any given day. However, if you do want to go further afield, maybe on a weekend or on a night time, then you can drive it without having any range anxiety. Of course, the engine will just kick in and keep you ticking away. The combined range is 631 miles. So on a full tank of fuel and a full battery, you're going to get roughly 631 miles of range, which is very, very impressive indeed. Now, the Seal UDMI has had a massive market share, and it's done really, really well on the UK roads. And I think that this coming out now and competing against the Kia Sportage and the Hyundai Tucson in terms of size, but being cheaper, is very, very impressive indeed. Now, what their strapline is for BYD on this particular car is petrol prices with hybrid technology, because at £29,995, it is cheaper than both the Hyundai Tucson and the Kia Sportage. However, you do still have the capability to plug the vehicle in and save costs on fuel as well, which is very impressive indeed. The car looks very good, and for the purposes of this video, what I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about the two different models that are available. We'll go over the colour options as well. Then I'm going to show you around all of the vehicle and show you all of its features. We'll then jump inside, show you the interior of the car so you can see exactly what it looks like. And then from there, if you are thinking about getting one of these cars, or maybe you have one on order in future, I'm going to go into the entertainment system so I can show you every single button on all of the physical buttons and the entertainment system, so that you can get the best out of your Sealion 5. But for now, I'm going to go quickly over a couple of details with the two specific models available. Like I said, it is starting at £29,995, and that is for the Comfort model. And with that, you're going to get a 13 kilowatt hour battery with 38 miles of electric range. You're also going to get a reverse camera, electric seats. You'll also get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless. And the boot size of this vehicle is 463 litres. And 1,410 litres with the seats down. So that's one thing that BYD have listened to. They've had a lot of feedback from the Seal UDMI that the boot space is just not big enough for what people are looking for. So even though this is a smaller car, the boot space is actually bigger than the Seal UDMI. Now, if you want to upgrade and go for the Design specification, the main difference is going to be the battery size. So you're going to get an 18 kilowatt hour battery, and that's going to give you 53 miles of range on the electric battery alone. You'll also, on top of the features that I've already explained, you're going to get heated seats in the front, an electric tailgate and full 360 cameras as well. So the difference in price is £3,000, and if you want that extra range, you want an electric boot, 360 cameras and heated seats, then it is probably worth paying that little bit more. But if you have a look at BYD's headline offers on this vehicle, a lot of them are advertised at £2,000 deposit and $299 per month. But I think what a lot of people are going to do is pick this vehicle up on the PCP offer. You will get an FDA, which means that you're going to get a contribution towards the deposit, and that will make the car just £329 deposit and £329 per month, and that is on 6,000 miles per annum. And I know there's a lot of people who are going to be in the comments saying, well, that's only little miles. You can adjust that and it will increase the cost on a monthly basis. But now what I'm going to do is quickly grab the camera. We'll go around the vehicle. I'll show you all of its features. Then we'll jump inside. I'll show you all of the boot space and the interior so you could get a good feel of what it looks like. And then from there, we'll have a look at the entertainment system and go through every individual button so that you can get the best out of your Sealion 5. So let's start at the front of the all-new BYD Sealion 5, and I do think this car looks absolutely fantastic. One of my favourite features are the headlights. I think they look incredible, especially on night time, outside in the dark. They give it a nice sort of presence on the road and it looks absolutely beautiful. Now this particular model is a comfort model. It's £29,995 and it is in the Atlantis Blue. So there are 4 colour options that you can choose from. You've got Atlantis Blue, which is a free colour option, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. But if you want to go with a polar white, an obsidian black or a time grey, they are £850 more. So what I'm going to do is quickly show you around all of the car and all its features, and then we'll jump inside and I'll show you all of the entertainment system as well. If you do like this content, then please do me a favour and hit subscribe. It's free to do on YouTube. We're trying to grow this channel to 10,000 subscribers this year, so I would really appreciate it if you could do that. Now, just so you know what each button does on the key with these vehicles, lock at the top, unlock just there. Double tap this one, that'll release your boot catch. And if you go with the design model, it'll also open your boot and close your boot too, with it having an electric tailgate. This bottom button, not many people know about, but if you press and hold that for 10 seconds within 15 meters of your car, what will happen is the car will turn on, it'll tick over, and then it'll start to warm your car up and defrost it as well. So the idea of that is in the winter, if you're at home and you want to defrost your car, you can simply either do it on the app or you can press and hold that key and it'll fully defrost it without having to go out with a scraper. It will leave the car locked as well, so no one can get in and steal it, and it'll just turn off after 10 minutes as well. But starting off at the front, I think it has a nice shape on the bonnet, which gives it a sort of a sporty SUV look. Then you've got the BYD logo just in the middle, and this is a new grille from BYD. We haven't seen this before. And just to give it a little bit of a reference to the CLU, I do think that the Sealion 5 grille does have a nice look to it. Then the headlights, I do like these headlights. It's like a triple LED on there, and the daytime running LEDs look fantastic as well. It gives it a nice sort of sporty premium feel when you're on the road. And with it being an SUV, you've got the SUV trim, which runs along the wheel arches and then across the bottom as well to give it that sort of SUV look. Both models, whether you get the comfort or the design, will come on 18-inch alloys, which just look exactly like that. And I think it really does suit the car. The wing mirrors will fold in when you lock the car door, and it has got dynamic lighting in there as well for the indicators. If you go with the design model, you will notice that you'll have a camera here and on the other side and on the front, and that's part of the 360 camera system. However, if you go with the comfort model, you will only get a reverse camera. There is as well in the door handle keyless entry, so you can simply press that button there and that will unlock and lock the door as long as you've got the key close to the vehicle. On the driver's side, this is where your electric point is, and it is only AC charging with these. Simply open that by pressing the button there. As long as your car is unlocked, that will just come out. If you want the petrol cap open, I'll quickly show you before we move around the rest of the car. It is just a little button right here. Press that one. That will release the petrol cap, and then you've got to press the cap open to have a look inside of that. And then across the top here, you've got this panel, silver panel here, which is a lot like the BYD Atto 3. If you're familiar with that car, you'll notice it does look a lot like that on there as well. There is no sunroof with these models, but you do get the roof racks on top there as well if you want to fit a roof box. In the back of the car, it's competing with the Kia Sportage and the Hyundai Tucson, and there's plenty of room in the back of there as well, and I'll show you the boot in a minute just so you can see how much space is in there. But they've gone with this black sort of synthetic leather interior, and the materials do feel really nice and really premium, with the orange stitching as well, and I think it suits the car really well. It just makes it stand out a little bit more. But in the back, it feels very good. You do get car mats with the cars as standard as well. But the materials feel really good and it does feel really comfortable. You've got 2 USB Type-Cs just there, and in the front driver and passenger you have this sort of nice bucket seat design, which does look fantastic. It gives it a nice sporty feel as well. A couple of pads in the back for storage, and then in the middle you do have your 2 cup holders as well. You've got LED lighting up top as well, which when you open the doors it'll just turn on. But it does feel nice and spacious inside there. And like I say, you will get the carpets with it as standard. But moving around to the back, this is where the BYD has that nice big BYD light bar right across the back, the brake bar, which has dynamic lighting built into it. And if you see these on the road, you straight away know that it's a BYD with this sort of nice big brake bar on the back. In the bottom right, you've got the Sealion 5 logo, and then down to the bottom left, you're going to have the DMI, which stands for Dual Motor Intelligence. Right in the middle there as well, you've got the BYD logo, which breaks it up and gives it a nice look. If you want to get in the boot, there's a catch just below. Open up like so, and this is all of the boot storage. And I quickly wanted to show you exactly what comes with the car. So as standard, you're going to get a 3-pin charger, which basically means you can charge it from an outside socket straight on a 3-pin straight into your car. It is quite slow, but it is better than nothing, and a lot of brands you have to pay extra for that. You'll also get your Type-C, which goes into a wall box, so if you're going to get an untethered cable, you do get one of these with it as well, so you don't need to buy a tethered charging cable. And then this bag here, which you're going to get with it, is your roadside assistance bag. So in here, you've got a warning triangle, you've got a high-vis vest, you've got the tyre repair kit, and you've got your lock and wheel nuts. So if you're trying to work out where that is, it's in that bag right there. And the cars will come with this underneath as so. You can also store your chargers in there as well. But if you're looking for that, that's where it lives. And that's your boot space in there. There is a lot of boot space, and what I'm going to do is show you exactly what it looks like with the seats down as well. One thing I've noticed is it comes with a normal parcel shelf. With the Sealion, you will get sort of a retractable one, which I think does look better, but nonetheless, it's just a little parcel shelf there. Now, with this cap, you've got to press a button inside. I don't think I pressed it in properly, but with that, all you need to do is press here and it'll release the petrol cap as well. Moving around to the side, what I'm going to do is quickly take the seats down, so you can see exactly how much space is in here, because that is one thing about this car is BYD have listened to what people are saying and have sort of come to terms with that they needed a bigger boot space. So the Sealion has a lot of feedback that the boot space is not quite big enough, but in there, plenty of boot space, and these sort of just stick down like on Velcro. And there's absolutely loads of boot space in there. Sorry if the camera's going a bit wild. But now what I'll do, I'll move around to the passenger side just so you can see exactly what's in there, and then I'll show you under the bonnet as well. Again, keyless entry on this side too. And you've got electric seats. So this one won't go up and down like the driver's seat, but it'll go back and forward. And then you've got your rest on there as well. In the middle, I will jump into this in more detail in a second, but you've got storage down below, 2 Type-Cs, an SD slot and a 12 volt. You can actually open up, put an SD card in there, and then put whatever photos you want on there. But I'm going to go through all of this driver system in just a moment. Now, if you are looking to find the bonnet release catch, all you're going to do is come round to the driver's side, and then down to the bottom right-hand side, you're going to have your little pull lever here. Now, you do have to pull that twice. If you pull it once, it'll just release it. Pull it twice, it will unlock it. A little bit of a safety mechanism. So if you're trying to open it, just pull it twice. Coming around the front so you can see what's underneath the bonnet. You've got your 1.5 litre DMI engine here, and this is a converter for your electricity. Now, with the BYDs, they use an LFP blade battery which runs across the bottom of the floor of the vehicle, and that battery is very, very good in terms of its safety, and it also doesn't degrade if you overcharge the battery as well. They're very good batteries. They are top of the range, the best performing batteries in the field. But that's just what it looks like under the bonnet. What I'll do now is I'll have a look inside the car and I'll show you all of the buttons so that you can get the best out of your Sealion 5 DMI. So let's have a look inside the all-new BYD Sealion 5. And this part of the video is very important for people that perhaps are thinking about getting one or already have one on order. Perhaps if you're getting one through a lease company, they'll simply hand you the keys and tell you to crack on. So this part, what I'm going to do is show you through every single button on the steering wheel, on the center console, and in the screen itself, so that you can get the best out of your Sealion 5 DMI. Now, starting off with the steering wheel, it is a very nice premium feeling one. You do have a flat bottom as well, which gives it that sort of sporty feel too. But on there, you've got a BYD logo just in front of you, and that part is your horn. Just press that to beep it. Driver display just above, couple of stalks here, which I'll go through in a minute, and then all of your buttons on the side. Like I mentioned before, just down to your right-hand side is your petrol release, and your bonnet release is just underneath. You can manually fold the windows in, wing mirrors, by pressing that button just there. And if you'd like to adjust them, just simply select it. A little blue light will come on like so, and then you can adjust your wing mirror on the right and on the left as well. Unlock and lock the car doors, windows down and up, and then at the back here you've got a window lock system which locks the windows out. Speakers built in, and I've tried the speakers, they are really good quality, and just all of the quality of the finish in here is to a high standard as well. Now this part here, a lot of people wonder what that is. This is the driver monitoring system. You can see it's an infrared camera, you'll see it just light up red there. And what that does is it monitors your face, and basically if you're tired, if you're not paying attention to the road, what it'll do is it'll sort of tell you off a little bit to sort of take a break or pay more attention. And you can turn that off, and what I'm going to do is show you the quick ways to do that if you're not a fan of it. In terms of the driver display, it's a very intelligent system that BYD use. So in the middle there, that is projecting the cars that are around you. And what that does is it then uses the ICC, the Intelligent Cruise Control, to measure the car in front, which then gives you a distance which you can set for the Intelligent Cruise Control. So when you set your speed, let's say we set it to 60 miles an hour, what that means is if the car in front slows down, your car will automatically slow down as well. And then once that car speeds back up, your car will then speed up to 60 miles an hour too. And you can adjust that level between you, or the distance, sorry, between you and the car in front. Up top, you've got your miles per hour. Position is in park at the minute. So if I put my foot on the brake and take that down, that's then going to go into drive, and then reverse if I go up. Neutral in the middle, and then my park button. I'll show you where that is in just a second. HEV, that means that the car is operating in engine mode. I've only just got this car delivered, so what you can do when you charge the car is you can manually select whether you want it in EV or HEV mode, and that'll change just up there. Your temperature is in the top right, and then your tyre pressure is here, and you can adjust that information too. This is the kilowatts that your battery is using, and that is your odometer in the bottom right hand side. Around here, you've got what seatbelts are on or not on, and then you've got the cruise control settings just up top. This is saying that your blind monitoring system is on, and then you've got your mode that your vehicle is in as well. Again, I've got tyre pressure here, but I'm going to show you how to change them features, and then you've got a little compass up top and a clock as well. To the bottom left, we've got battery percentage and fuel percentage, so you can see exactly where you are with them. Now, in terms of your stalks, on the right-hand side, we've got our wipers up and down to turn them on. And as you can see, it's just turned it on to automatic. If you want to change the speed of the automatic wipers, simply change this here, and it'll go from auto 1, auto 2, auto 3, and auto 4. So what it'll do is just change the sensitivity of the automatic wipers. Your back wiper is on the end there, just to turn that one on. It'll be intermittent, and then rear wiper to wash it, just pull it up completely. Indicators are on the left-hand side, so simply up and down for your indicators, and then you've got your fog lights in the middle and your lights here. So select auto, it'll show your auto on the screen there. Then you've got your full light position and your dipped ones as well. If you want to have a look at the odometer, what you can do is press this button just here on the end of the stalk, and what that'll do is it'll change it from trip A, if you can make that out in the bottom right, trip B, trip HEV, and trip EV. Your audio is your full mileage, then you've got your 2 trips. Press and hold to reset them if you wish to do so. Now your trip HEV is how many miles the car's done on the engine, and your trip EV is how many it's done on the electric battery. So there's quite a few little trips on there, but just so you're familiar with what they are. Now we'll move on to the steering wheel. So in terms of what's on the steering wheel, we've got a volume control here, and if we press that, it'll put it on mute. You can then change radio stations or tracks simply by pressing these buttons here. Your mode button is going to take you from AM to FM radio to Apple CarPlay to Amazon Music. It'll change you through all of your different modes. So it's a pretty useless button, that one, but if you do want to quickly sift through them, you can. Then you've got your voice assistant, and if you haven't been familiar with BYD, I'll go over that in just a moment. And then we've got the telephone to answer phone calls. On the left-hand side, this section here is for your cruise control. So if you want to set your cruise control, let's say we're doing 60 miles an hour, we press that button, that's going to set you to 60 miles an hour. Up and down, that'll take you up and down in 5 mile an hour increments. And then, like I mentioned before with the ICC, this is the distance here. So if you want to shorten the distance between you and the car in front when your car is slowing down, press that one. Heighten the distance, press that one just there. Now, one button that they don't have on the Seal UDMI is this one right here, and that is the favorites button. So what you can do with that is you can basically press and hold it, and then on your main screen there, it'll bring up a few different options. So you can choose what that button does. So that's a nice little feature there to have as your favorites button. Moving on to the center console before I go on to the main screen. In here, we've got the gear selector, foot on the brake. Now your P is at the top. So if you press the P, that's going to put you into park, and it's just a physical button on top. Then we need to press this button on the side to unlock the gear selector. Hold that in, pull it down, that's you now in drive, and it'll light up blue like so. If I go into reverse, that'll then light up in reverse. And again, it will tell you on the main screen just here as well, R for reverse. Oops. And also when you go into reverse, it will put your cameras on. Now, if you go with the comfort model, this is the reverse camera that you're going to get with the reverse sensors as well, telling you exactly the distance between you and the obstacle behind you. And that'll go from green to amber to red as you get closer to it. If you do go with the design model, you're going to get a full 360 camera, and you'll have a little camera button here too to pull that up while you're driving. So that'll give you the front, back and the distances too, and both left and right, above you, and you can even see underneath the car. It's a fantastic system that they've got. Again, just for P, just go there. If you do want to go from drive to neutral, you'll feel on the gear selector like 2 clicks. So you just want to pull it 1 click and then let go. But to be honest, with these cars, you never really do use the neutral. You're just either in park, drive or reverse. This is a little pad right here for your mobile phone. And if you go with the design specification, you are going to get a wireless phone charger in there too. Another volume button for the passenger to use or yourself, and again, if you press that, it's going to put you onto mute, and it will put a screensaver on if you don't want to be distracted by the screen while you're driving. In terms of the physical buttons, a lot like the BYD Atto 3. So this one is auto climate, fans on and off, and the light up as you turn them on. You've got a front demister just there like so. And then you've got your mode switch at the bottom. So with the mode switch, you'll see on the driver display on the right hand side, you've got sport, normal and eco. So you can choose which one, and it'll change it into different colours as well. Red for sport, green for eco and blue for normal. Then from there, we have this one right here, and this is a snow mode. So if you press that button, you will go straight into snow mode. And again, I'll quickly just show you so you can see what it looks like. Because in snow mode, the ICC won't work. I had that today with a lady who said it wasn't working, and she was accidentally in snow mode. So if you press that button, it'll come up like so, and you can see that the ICC and the lane departure system isn't working while you're in snow mode. So just bear that in mind, that is your snow mode button, and to come out of that, just put it in normal, sport or eco. Then in the bottom left, if you're not familiar with plug-in hybrids, this car you can choose if you'd like to drive in EV mode or HEV. So up for EV, down for HEV. HEV stands for hybrid electric vehicle, which means it's running on the engine, and EV stands for electric vehicle, which means it's running on the battery. You've got a handbrake right in the middle, but again, it's just a feature that I do not use because I simply just press the park button on the gear selector. Then this one here is auto hold. So this means that if you're going up to a red light, you go fully on the brake. If you have auto hold on, it will just stay on forever. When you turn the car on, it'll automatically be on. And what it means is if you go to a red light, go to a full stop, come off the brake, your car then won't roll forward. If you don't have that on with the automatic cars, it will just naturally roll forward. This is for your warning triangles in your wing mirrors, so blind spot detection on there as well. If you want that off, you can do. And then this one is for your parking sensors. If you don't want to deactivate them, just unhighlight it. Your hazard lights are just here like so. And then as we move up, like I say, if you go with the design spec, you will get a wireless phone charger here. There is some cup holders down below as well. I won't skip over that. Just a couple of cup holders there, and then a storage bucket in there too. But now going on to the main screen, and this is going to be really easy to run through because if you've been in a BYD, they all run off the same system. So I'll quickly go through this with you. If you do have any questions, by the way, on the car, then please drop a comment below and I'll do my best to answer it. I pretty much know everything about these cars. So if you have a question, just let me know. But across the bottom here, this is your interactive bar. Now, no matter where I'm at on the system, what that means is this bar will always stay here. So if I'm in an Apple CarPlay, if I'm in the radio, if I'm on I don't know, Spotify, this bar will always be here. And the idea of that is so that you can access the main settings without having to come in and out of different screens. So on the bottom bar, what you can do is press and hold, and just like a mobile phone, you can take certain features out and put certain features in there as well. And also you can move them around. So if you maybe use the front demister more, you can pop that over there closer to the driver. So it's fully customizable to what you want to have on there. Bottom left, that one's going to bring up all your apps, and you can have a look through there, change the themes. The BYD store will have different apps available on there as well, and that means you can download things like Amazon Music, YouTube is on there as well, and all you need to do is connect your car to your Wi-Fi and you'll be able to go on there and install whatever apps are available. You've also got Spotify, which can work directly from the car without your phone. Your vehicle imaging, there's a button there for that too. There's a manual built in. You've got YouTube on here, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Navigation isn't quite on this car yet. It will be on all of your Sealion 5s when you buy them, but it hasn't set up on here just because we've had the car for less than 5 hours. You've got utility tools in here as well if you want to have a look at the data monitoring and data management, and also the album. I'll just quickly show you the album. That's where if you want to put an SD card in, you can do, and you can upload photos onto here and then save them as backgrounds. But in there are all of your applications that you can choose from. One of the ones that I like is the BYD Assistant, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But what you can do is if you go on a wake word, you can change it. So if you're not familiar with BYD, you can say simple commands to it. You can say, "Hi BYD, open, close window," and just like so, the window will close. And this will work with your navigation. It'll turn your heating on, it'll turn your heating up, it'll turn it down. If you go with the design model, it'll work with heated seats on there as well, and it'll also open your boot. But if you want to change the word from the "Hi BYD," what you can do is change it to whatever you want just in here. So one thing to note with that is if you're going to change it to a different name, please put "Hi" first with a space, and then put whatever word you want. If you try and put just the word in, it won't work. So you need to put "Hi" first on there. So that's your applications. And then down the bottom, we've got split screen, so you can run 2 apps at once. I don't think anyone ever uses this, but it is a feature nonetheless. If you'd like to run your maps on one side and your Spotify on the other, you can do. Then we've got the temperature on the left-hand side of the vehicle and the temperature on the right-hand side of the vehicle down here as well, so you can multi-do that. Now, with all BYDs, there are little shortcuts as well. So if you hold 3 fingers on the screen, what you can do is go up and down, and that'll change your temperature. And if we go left and right, that will change your fan speed. We've got circulation here for inside the car and outside the car. And then if we press this little man in the middle, that is going to bring up our climate controls. Up here, if you go with the design spec, it will have seats written up top here as well, which is where you can access your heated seats. There is also an individual button for that too. This little square here is just going to bring up all of your recent apps, and if you want to flick through them like so, you can, or you can just flick them off to bin them if you wish to do so. You've also got a front demister button on here, as well as a physical one down below. Then you've got this cog, which is your settings button, which I'll run through at the end. If you ever get lost, press the house. That's then going to take you back to this main screen here. So if you ever get lost, just press that and it'll take you back to the BYD main screen. And this in the bottom right is just a back button. Then you've got your interactive bar just above that. So when you're on the BYD system, you've got an interactive bar. Now on there, you can customize what you want. So if you've got an Apple phone or an Android phone, you can put them CarPlays in there, move them around too. But you can have quick access features on there, which a lot of people like to have certain apps running. On this one, as standard, you're going to have your phone connection, which I'll show you how to set up in a minute. You'll also have your radio on there as well. Then you'll have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and this one is for your maps, which, like I said, haven't been connected just yet. I'll just see. Yeah, we've only had the car 5 hours, but they are run through Google, so they are live mapping, and that will come as standard. One more thing before I run into the settings, well, 2 more things. You've got this little star here, and that one will change all of your backgrounds. So what you can do is click that and then choose different backgrounds to whatever you wish, and it will also change the theme as well, just like so. The next thing is this drop-down menu up top, and this one is quite important to a lot of people because in here you can turn off them safety settings very, very quickly. So if I customize that, sorry, I went through that quite quickly, but if I drag down, click customize, I can then put these 2 on the right-hand side. And what they are is lane assist and slow warning. So basically with your lane assist, if you want that off, you can just turn it off, and that means that it won't drag you into the lane. And then this speed limit warning, this one is when it beeps at you for going over the speed limit. So not that you should, but if you do go over the speed limit and you don't want it to beep at you, just simply swipe down, off and off. And you will have to do that every single time you get in the car. Another important feature on this section is in the top left. This is the SOC, and you can set that to whatever you wish. What that means is when you turn on the car, wherever I set this, if I set this at 50%, that means that when I get in the car and turn it on, if my battery is above 50%, it will start in electric vehicle mode. If it's below 50%, it'll start in hybrid electric vehicle mode. Now, my advice is when you're driving this car is if you're going to charge it regularly is to put it down to 25%, but if you're not going to charge it regularly, put it up to 70%, and that way you'll get the best efficiency out of the car. However, with these cars, you do need to drive them in engine mode for the first 300 miles, so please put that to 70% for the first 300 miles, even if you want to charge it. Let the engine kick in, and then from there, drop it down to the 25%. Now, the last couple of things I'm going to run through is the settings. On the right-hand side, you've got all of your settings, and across the top is the subsections. So in the light section up here, I can change my headlight heights. I can also change the intelligent high beam. So what that means is when you're driving down the lane, there's no lights and there's no cars, your high beam will come on automatically. And then when the car comes or there's lights, it'll go off automatically as well. So it's a nice little feature to have. You can turn on things like auto close windows when it rains in the lock section, so you can go through there. And these ones here are telling your key what to do. So if I long press the key fob on unlock, it means now that the windows will open. So you can choose what features your key does with what buttons that you press. In audio and display, this is where I can change everything with the volumes, although we've got physical switches for that. You can also change all of the balance of where the volume is coming from. So if you want it to primarily come from the driver's position, you can. Or if you've got kids in the back listening to something you don't want to listen to, you can have most of the noise coming from the back if you wish to do so. So you can change that all in there. Then you'll get your notifications, which you can adjust on there as well. And your screen, you've got different screensavers, different brightness. You've got auto mode, which means it's light during the day like so. And then dark at night time. It is very, very bright. I actually prefer the dark mode all the time. Adaptive brightness, and then you've got your instrument settings, and your instrument is your driver's display. In terms of energy, you can go through here as well and change the sockle, just like I showed you on the drop-down menu, and you can change your regenerative braking. There's not a huge difference between standard and high. You won't notice it too much, but you can change that if you wish to do so. And then you've got all of your energy consumption data in there as well, if you wanted to check that. With the vehicle, you can have hill descent on there, and then you've got different driver modes too. So what I tell most people is get in the car, drive it as normal, as it is set up. And then once you're comfortable with the car, jump in here and you can change the different modes from steering to comfort and sport, braking assist to sport and comfort as well. So just have a little play with it, but get used to the car first and then set it up exactly how you want it. You can turn off your auto wipers and your auto full mirrors if you wish to do so. I'm not sure if you would like to do that. And then you've got your driver monitoring system. So if you wish to turn that off, this little infrared camera just here, you can do so just in this section right here. Now, this part is where a lot of people get lost because they go through the screen and there is a lot going on, but it's not that difficult once you've been in the car for a little bit of time. I quickly click through because I'm in these cars all the time. But what I say to people is don't pay too much attention to it to start off with. You'll soon get used to it, using the shortcuts and clicking around very, very easily. In the bottom, you've got system, and on there, that's where you can connect the car to your Wi-Fi. So that'll make it easier to do updates and install different apps. And this is where you can connect your phone. So what I'm going to do is quickly grab my phone out and show you how easy that is. So simply turn on your Bluetooth, go onto your phone. And then if you're with Apple, all you're going to do is click on settings, go to Bluetooth. And if we scroll right to the bottom, even though I have about 1 million cars on my system, in fact, I think I have too much to find any other devices, but your car will find it as well. So just simply click onto your phone just like so. And what that'll do is then connect you up to the Bluetooth. From there, you can then pair the phone using the code. Just click pair and allow. And then from that option there, it will or should bring up Apple CarPlay. Click connect. And that is us now connecting to Apple CarPlay. Now, you won't ever need to do this again. Once you're set up, you're just set up for good. So you don't need to do this every single time that you get into the car. But then from there, what you're going to do is click OK, and that will then pop your phone onto the screen. And that's the same with Android Auto, and simply slide through for your different options. So you can change all your widgets, you've got your maps on there, you've got your quick options on the side, and then you've got all of your apps that you can access on there too. If you want to get back to the BYD system, simply click on the house, it'll take you back to the system, and then Apple CarPlay back to get to Apple CarPlay. But it's a very simple system to use. One thing this car doesn't have is a rotating screen, which BYD seem to be coming away from a little bit, and probably a little bit of a gimmick that people didn't really use. But overall, the car looks absolutely fantastic. I will be doing a road test on this as well on another video. So if you do like this content, then please hit subscribe so you get notified when I do put the other videos on. I do all the cars that are coming to the UK and are very popular. I've got JQs, Omodas, BYDs, Hyundais, Kias, Mazdas. There's plenty of different cars I've got available on the channel. So if you do like it, I would really appreciate it if you could just hit like and subscribe. That would be very, very helpful. But if you have any questions at all, pop them in the comments. My email address is also in my bio. If you've got anything specific that you want to ask, then you can contact me through there. But thanks for watching, and we shall see you on the road test in the next video.